Okay, let's see what we have so far. Tentacle, Trouble, Sora, how's it going? Trouble, you have to be AFK at the start, that's perfectly fine. Um, okay. Let me get Star Trek on Lean opened up here. Why did my... Why do you not want to start? Yeah. I didn't know. I'll be honest, Sora. I don't really use Twitch that much as like a viewer nowadays. So I was like, I at first when you were asking that, I was like, I didn't know what you were talking about, to be honest. And then when you sent that message, I looked into it a bit more, and I was like, oh, that's what you're talking about. Sort of similar to, but the same stuff exists over on YouTube. Where'd I put my cable? Kyle, Stanky Boy. Yeah, I'll talk about the covert stats. Just that there's it's an important disclaimer there from Mike from Kill that these are not final. The release of these stats to on Trible briefly earlier today was entirely an accident. Yeah, I know people have seen them. And we don't know what is final, what's not. So I don't really want to dive into it too terribly much right now. Treble, thank you for the 2.99. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah. I will say I reached out to inquire earlier today about some interviews, and one of them would be for the covert. So we'll see how that goes. My schedule's been screwed. I mean my schedule, my everything's been screwed up this year. Oh, and that reminds me too. I need to take a moment and get this radiator tested. But yeah, Tribbles, thank you for the super sticker again. Just give me a moment here. While I got STO going, I want to just get this pressure tested to make sure this radiator I got off eBay is perfectly fine. Sorry if that hit the microphone there. Where do I have a stop fitting? Spud, thank you for the membership there. Greatly appreciate it. 7 months in a row. Um, I mean, the stats have been posted to the STO subreddit and stuff like that, but again, they're not final. So just keep that in mind. 6 days left for the summer event, and nice. Blah. Yeah, it's a basically the KDF equivalent of a strike wing escort. Okay, let's get this pressure tested. For pressure testing, EK and a couple other companies sell these like bicycle pumps. So I basically just want to get it up to like half a bar. Seems like every stream, Spencer. Well, I had a new radiator come in, and I just want to make sure it's fine. I mean, it looks to actually be brand new, so the seller did not lie. But I'm going to set this to the side with the pressure tester, and basically, if that is still holding a pressure like in 15 minutes, then it's fine. Um, Ethan, how's it going? Paul, Kyle, did I miss anyone else? Command, Temp, Cavort, okay, was hoping for a mirror angle for Klingons. Yeah, it's not going to beat the mirror angle. The mirror angle is still, like, going to be the top dog. Yeah. Do I have my dailies available for the summer event? Not for another 3 hours, damn. Um, it's not Merrick workers. What they showed was temporal primary command secondary. It's over on like the STO subreddit. Sora, thank you for the 17 months in a row. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, it's got some interesting looking stuff. I mean, there's already been a bit of discussion about it in some of the discords. Again, the stats are over on the STO subreddit. Um, Kale's been in that thread. Again, to clarify that these stats aren't final. There's at least one major positive change that he knows of that happened before this leak. So I mean, it's I know that this is getting a lot of attention right now, but this is not final. That's why I'm not spending too much time on it. But what we know is, that this was originally meant to be an Infinity Lockbox ship. Um, and the stats, the accessories, like it's gonna be one of, if not the best, like KDF ship in the game. So, Michael, yeah, that's working as intended, and it's not the first console like that. The GOM 2 console, it's also, you have to keep in mind with Resistance and STO is that there is diminishing returns. Captain Sort of, thank you for the 69 bits. But yeah, with the GOM 2 console, there is diminishing returns with any of the resistance stuff. So yeah, if I remove my shields, it's 630 resistance. But, let's look at my actual, my actual resistance here. I'm not getting 630% resistance here. So I'm going from 22, which is my baseline right now, up to 72.4. Now there's basically a cap of 75%. But yeah, the GOM 2 console, by the way, guys, if you're going to use it, I did do testing and then didn't have time this week to really talk about it in a dedicated video. But in the science console slot is the best performance I saw. Um, Putting it in a science console slot was so far ahead of all the other options. I also I'd seen the episode before, but this morning I did go ahead and rewatch the Tin Man episode, and I was like, I feel bad for having been negative about the ship and all. That was a bit of a depressing episode, a bit sad. Ethan with the 3-watch streak. I'll post the Reddit link over on or in the chats here. But yeah, there's the stats if you really want to see them right now. Again, they're not final, but we've been asked not to talk about them like in a video yet, which is why I haven't done anything about it because it's not final. So like you can see get an early idea of what to expect there. And it's a good ship. But we will see what the other changes are next week. So don't get too attached to what you see right now because there's potential that some of that gets changed. Yeah, there's new stuff over on Trible. Yeah, let me open Trible up as well. But yeah, the GOM 2 console in a science console slot is the way to go. It's basically the passives are better than like the Obina console. I would consider this to be like a good budget alternative to the Obina console. And I've seen really good performance out of the clicky in a science console slot too. Like I had one run where it did like 144K for me, which is like damn. The trait, though, I still think has too long of a lockout to be worth using, and the ship itself, I do not buy into it as much as other people do, but I think it's for the stats, but it's something perfectly usable. But yeah, over on Trible, they went in, pushed some changes out earlier, so we can see which quadrant is featured here right on the galaxy map now. So I guess there's not really a need for that DSE channel I made yesterday, or whatever day. But yeah, you could see here like featured quadrant, and then it shows delta, and it's also got that lighting there to indicate which quadrant is featured. So that's pretty nice. No one told me that if I made it do a recruit character, they're getting good results. I mean, the thing with like Parrot's like psi builds there is they are pretty flexible. You can just copy paste them onto other psi ships and get really good performance. Mathematically, because of the Type 7s, the Terran Monitor is going to come out ahead. But, I mean, you could still you can still take the GOM 2 and do millions of damage with it. So that's part of the thing with the current meta, and this is something I haven't covered. I haven't covered a lot of things very well with the channel. I'm not happy, honestly, with my content coverage this year, even though the channel is doing really well. Um, just my IRL situation, taking care of kids now, dealing with family stuff. It's been a hectic year behind the scenes, so there's a lot of content I wanted to get done that I just never got around to. Especially larger content pieces like build guides and that secondary build channel. But yeah, there's been some nice improvements over on Trible here. So the UI is a little bit better. Something I don't actually know yet though is the DSC daily wrapper. Is this actually something you can do on each character every day? Because I'm not going to do this, but hypothetically, if someone did actually go through and do that on 60 characters, is that something they could actually do? The ship just makes you want to fly the monitor. In my opinion, how would it work with how my build is set up? I don't remember what you're running right now, Sora. Have you sent me? How recently have you sent me a build picture? Do we still have overwhelming eyes in sector space? No. They changed it. So you've got the stars and the DSCs are now like a yellow. I mean, I'd probably stay with your current ship then. I wouldn't go to the GOM 2. Like the GOM 2, if you want to use it, is perfectly fine, but I wouldn't go out of my way to swap to it. That'd be the shortest path to burnout ever, yeah. But the thing is you do have some people who will go in and do that sort of grind. But yeah, the Triple Test server received some updates earlier today. The icons are a little bit better. Oh, you mean the console? The console. You can try it. I mean, the Obina console, you're able to use a bit more frequently, so it's got that damage buff associated to it. Um, I haven't done enough A/B testing to show like the exact difference between the two, but the GOM 2 consoles again been doing like really well for me. Um, let me just give a quick demo. Yeah, so I've got the GOM 2 console on right now, and I guess I'll warm up with a nice solo. I'm hoping the new Klingon ship is really good. It is. It is. It is. Everything we've seen so far is really good, Toxent. I found Twinkling Light Space Science is a lot less finger twister on console. Yeah. I have been keeping up with my, summer event, of course, over on console. So I do have the GOM 2 over there. Oh, the dupe recruit characters can farm experimental ship upgrades? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
The situation is...
I mean, people farm some of those rewards over and over again for many of the recruits. Because it's getting up to tier 6 reputations on the recruits that get you an experimental ship upgrade. My thing is like, even looking at it free to play, I've always felt that um it would just be more cost effective to just, time wise, to just go and get a bunch of Phoenix obtained upgrades.
The Netite drones can repair the transformers. Stop them!
OSS, no! How dare you? OSS shut my weapons down on the left side there. Really unfortunate. This is still like a fine run, but my positioning there just sort of screwed it. Yeah, it's already too slow, but we'll finish it just to get numbers. That was a really big stall out there at the end. 3.4, not the best. Okay, let's see. Rubica, thank you for the sub. 21 months in a row. Really appreciate it. Okay. Wow. Oh, so that was one of the weaker performances I've seen from this, but still 75k DPS from the GOM 2 console. Yeah, so the thing is like, you going in and spamming recruit characters to get the free T6 experimental ship upgrades, like, to me, the reason I've never really bothered with that is because that's a lot of time investment. That's a lot of you going in, grinding up the reputations, and ultimately, like, you can get those experimental ship upgrades for like $1.50 per, worth of dilithium. So I just have always felt that going in and, what is that? What is that Zen-wise right now? Like $1.50 is like 75k deal. Yeah, because we're at 500, so like 100, was it like 150, 160 Zen to get one out of Phoenix? Yeah, so like at the absolute worst case during a Phoenix event, you're looking at maybe like 100k deal worth of Phoenix packs to, get enough tokens to get a an X upgrade there. So it just, to me, it's like you're talking about working on a, multiple recruit characters, doing their reputations, all that work for almost 2 months, and you're getting like you're getting other things, but um, doing it explicitly for the X upgrades just has never seemed worth it for me when you can get them for like a $1.50. For the KDF recruit, sure. Yeah, you can squeeze a bit extra, like a little bit of extra Endeavor XP doing Klingon recruits, but I think that's about to also become a worthless endeavor. And Alan, how's it going? Sorry, I didn't respond sooner. Um, in the KDF recruits, now that we're gonna have DSCs giving the Endeavor XP, I think it'd just be more time effective to just go in and do a bunch of DSCs, rather than try and grind up an entirely new character. Do people really do that? Yeah, I mean, there certainly are some that do. Again, I just have never felt it worth doing time wise, just because that's a lot of time. You're talking about doing it for 2 months. Yeah, I mean, sure. If it's giving you a more enjoyable experience, then you do you. Um, I'm just expressing like how I feel about it. Then another character for Delta playing on advanced. Yeah. The Phoenix events happen as often on consoles they do on PC. Like, when was the last set of Phoenix stuff here? In fact, let me just pull up Discord. Streamer mode disable, builds, Phoenix. So in channel. If you're on console though, the dill grind is much harder. I mean, so I'm seeing two thus far this year. So there's the one in June, there was one back in April, December, October, June. Yeah. The way to do it basically is you just you grind up a ton of dilithium, which I think is going to be more time if you're going to get a bit more out of your time just trying to grind dilithium on a bunch of characters. And then you just, you rip open Phoenix packs, you save the tokens for when there's a Phoenix event, and then when that Phoenix event does show up, which again, is like every 2 to 3 months, then you're going to be able to go in and just convert all the tokens you have built up for the X upgrades. Um, the nice thing about Deltas though, if you're making a character you want to keep and actually work, yeah. Um, Chris, hey Spencer, do I think this Kelvin bundle as a concept will have some decent offerings if you're not looking for just space Barbie ships? Um, I am very confident that the upcoming Kelvin bundle will have some very appealing, very interesting offerings. That is what I will say at this time. I would say, aside from that, if you have not bought any Zen over on PC, like, we have a Zen sale right now. I really would be stocking up, making sure you have enough Zen set aside um for a Zen store bundle, a 3 ship bundle. So probably a base cost around 12,500 Zen, and then with the intro 25% discount, somewhere between 9 and 10,000 Zen. I think it would be a very wise move for many of you to have your Zen prepared. Mav, how's it going? your delusional dream is that the Newton can be kit bashed with the Proxima. I imagine there's going to be a bit of kit bashing that can occur. Yeah. I also want to see here how much dilithium do I have like stockpiled on my characters because I want to consolidate all of my dilithium together here. Um, you have enough for about 3 of those ship bundles just from lifetime spend. I'm gonna before the summer sale ends, I want to stock up on Zen myself. I want to have enough for this bundle, and then if there's like a good Muds bundle later in the year, then I'll want to be prepared for that. Concentrate firepower. So CF, if you're looking to use pets or summons that have torpedoes, yeah, you can do CF. I think if you're into the Kelvin theme, obviously the bundle's going to have, some nice appealing accessories. Honestly, wasn't there like that Spock EV suit that they worked on like years and years ago that we never ended up getting? I could see them tossing, stuff like that in. Um, they're aware of a lack of other variants of the Kelvin weapons, like dual cannons, DHCs, all that. So maybe we'll see something there. Um, I'm just thinking what else. I think the ships are going to be rather appealing. But yeah, I think the ships on their own will probably be quite interesting. I've talked about this before, and I'll re-say this. But that they are very well aware of what went wrong with like the summer bundle last year, Timeless Legacy. Um, I think we are now past the days of. I think we're now past the days of single specialization combo ships. No, Kyle. Tragic. Will we be able to buy the ships from the Kelvin bundle with T6 coupons? If it's unrestricted coupons, sure. Let's see. Sora, your build here. Uh, you're missing a Tetrion weapon for Twinkling, so I'd get a Tetrion dual cannon on. Your choice. You could just use a crafted one. Um, you're using a shield engine. I mean, I would use engine aux instead personally, but if that's what you want to do, that's your choice. Um, I've shifted Elios down to an inch console slot. I find that buff to be a little bit more useful. Um, yeah, everything else looks fine. I mean, I know you like the Voktar console for the console cooldown reduction, but yeah, I mean it looks fine. Lonnie, how's it going? Muok, if I was a betting man, would the Cavort be a Dill or Zen buyout? I certainly hope that it's Dilithium. I know you're hoping to bait out like a response of, do I actually know what it is? I don't know, but my hope is that they've went Dilithium with it. Did I? Well, just swap the one out for Tetron. I don't know. I don't remember what the context was when I said that. Um, I'm realizing I haven't looked at my Fed fleet in a couple days. Barefoot has gone. Oh man, I don't think I've looked at this all week. Oh no. Don't tell me there's a holding with nothing slotted. Oh, good. Um, Generate theoretical models. Appreciate it. Barefoot again, how's it going? Ken, I would just like to see it as dilithium. I don't think it hurts to have it as dilithium. I think with a high appeal ship like what they're giving us here with the Cavort, I think it would be I think it'd be the move. Beautiful. I cannot look at that on stream. Yeah, I think they're obviously aware of the Lobi situation now, and I believe that as the year progresses, we'll probably see them start to shift some things over to Lobi. Would be my expectation. Um, I Jeremy was in here a week or so back, and we were talking about the promo packs feeling a bit rough in recent times, and I do believe that just getting rid of the promo packs is probably like a good play for the game. I think take all of the promo ships out, dump the more recent ones just into the Infinity Lockbox, and then for some of the older ones like your Sheshar, the Jem'Hadar Strikewing, or Strike and Recon, just put those in the Lobi store. You can grab items from the salvage screen and directly equip now. Nice. There's also some other changes done on Trible, I think today. I heard something. I'll be honest. I woke up like not long before this stream. Like I had a I finally got through with insurance and got like all the appeals done, so I was able to get one of my medicines started again, and I got it delivered this morning. Took my shot. And then I just was just so tired by middle of the day, so I crashed like around 2. But yeah, there's some more stuff done on Triple here. I want to look at that quick. Oh boy. Yeah, there's some stuff that's gonna make people happy for sure. We're gonna go to this character. Need console to increase the Lolonut cap sooner. Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna happen. Console gets things at a pretty substantial delay versus PC, so that's always a bit tricky. I think I was talking to a few people a few weeks back about the Noble, um, and it's like imagine if the Noble had been the first ship that they tried this with. Like, do you know how much of a dent that would have put in the Deluxe? Like, the GOM 2, it's not a bad ship. It's got a really good console, especially, but it doesn't have the same level of appeal as the Noble. I mean, you can go and look at the content that's been put out, between the two ships, and I'll show this again here. Like Endeavor. Endeavor does like visual videos for all the ships, right? Showcasing them. His GOM2 video hasn't even surpassed 400 views. It's actually doing worse than the Orchid, and the Orchid performed horribly content-wise. I don't think many of those sold for Cryptic. But you've got the GOM2, which it just on the visual front, it's not really appealing to people, and then you compare that to the Noble. 400 views versus almost 8,000. Like imagine if the Dill buyout had started with the Noble. To do with the load of provisions our recruits are getting. Just try and toss them out of fleet. It'll exchange. We're yeah. Well, it'll move. Just give it time. Um. Okay, was it over here? I didn't see it, but no visual appeal at all. Yeah, yeah. Looks like a pine cone. Yeah, it's something I've heard a lot of people express. Provisions you're getting, just find a random fleet in your armada to toss them towards. That's really the best thing I can say there. Offer, there we go. It's always the lithium and duty officers holding back the fleet projects. Pretty much in every fleet out there. Nice. A Sovereign Strike-Wing Escort. Oh no. Okay, a couple more duty officers here. What do I want to donate? There we go. What's this one missing? Some more duty officers. Yeah. I haven't even tried doing some of this stuff over on console. Like, I could not imagine trying to do like some of the doffing stuff that I do over on there. Like, I don't think I could do it with the UI. Like all of the grinding stuff that I used to do, um, especially when I was a bit more free to play with the game. Like I couldn't. That's one thing that's been a bit eye opening since trying console is that basically everything that I did to get my account up to the point that I got it to, especially on the free to play side, just basically wouldn't have been feasible for me to do over there because every interface has just so much more that you have to do to get through it. There's so many more interactions. Scramble Fighter is pretty cheap. Yeah. No, I don't hate console. I don't hate console players. I just don't like the user interface. I think that the console experience would be a lot better if I could just plug in a keyboard and mouse right into the PlayStation and access the normal PC user interface. Scramble Fighters has never been 12 million. That's never been. If you bought one at 12 million, it's because the person posting it really screwed up. Like they screwed up significantly if you got one at 12 mil. Um, Scramble Fighters has always been extremely expensive. That's like the grand prize, effectively, from the Delta Alliance duty officer packs. And what are those at per unit right now? Just under 10. But yeah, Scramble. Whenever they come out with new carriers, Scramble Fighters will go up. But yeah, under 400 mil means the market's a bit saturated. I personally don't tend to sell my Scrambles unless they're over like 500-600 mil. Um, yeah, basically, like all of the, I mean, even combat, but basically every system on console just has more layers of interaction to it. So literally doing anything in the game takes more time over there. There's been a massive amount of EC inflation. Um, yeah, they've given us more ways to get EC in the past couple years. Muok, will the Cavort console have any impact on carrier builds? Muok, the stats are literally posted on the STO subreddit. I know you're trolling. Um, I chatted about these earlier on. Um, they've been clear in the it right in the post there. Kale said these stats aren't final. There's at least one major positive change I know of that happened before this leak. So like I know that people have now seen this, but again, just be aware it's not final. Um, if I have experience with free to play, what is the best way to get your DPS up? I mean, it's practice. Obviously there are gear pieces that are going to make things easier for you. That's just the reality, but you know, when it comes to DPS in general, like even if you have all of the fancy toys, like unless you understand like how to fly your ship, how to maintain your space bar or whatever your ability tray is, um, like if you don't understand those things, you're not going to do damage. Like if if you don't understand how to rapidly move your ship from point to point, then like you're going to fall behind. I mean, look at how many people will complain about DPSers going through a queue too fast and it being hard to keep up. Um, that's that's a skill you have to learn. Like you got to practice that stuff. Like I could go on the free to play account and put something together with like Firewheel or CSV that is going to perform decent. It's not going to do millions of DPS, but um, you know, it's the 10K you see most people locked at is more because they're just not paying attention to like abilities or their positioning. Uncon, Harmony, Noble, yeah. Yeah, basically those are the main ones right now, Bob. Sent me a DM. Yeah, yeah, sure thing. Um, there's Dark Eddie. I know that there are tools to like emulate a keyboard and mouse on console in games that don't fully support it, but I don't think that would do much for STO because you'd still be using their control scheme. No, I'm saying that there's a lot of people that are stuck at like 10K DPS, and it's because they're not paying attention to abilities. They're not, trying to fly their ship. Like I was largely free to play for the first for most of the first several years that I was playing the game. I did not have money to really toss into the game. So there's a very very long time early on for me where like I was still doing really high end stuff. I was engaging, with high end DPS. Why'd I hit that wrong way? Let me hit the date. YouTube changed their interface and it's all so slow now. There we go. But like I was doing solo ISCs, um, like very early on into my time with the game, and I have a couple that are posted before this on a different channel, but um, like when I started back in 2012, it was much easier to get up to speed with endgame stuff. There wasn't as much gear locked behind premium offerings. It was just get up to level 50 at the time, and get to just make sure your weapons are Mark 12, and the big thing really was just making sure your build was like synergized and that you understood how to pilot in time abilities. That was like the big thing back in the day. Um yeah, it's not hard to hit like 100, 200k. Is 300k good? Yeah, 300k already puts you in like top 1%. I mean, if you're doing 300k DPS, you are basically one of the people that you see other players complain about for taking things out too fast, especially if you're doing normal or advanced content. Like, if you're going into ISAs and you're doing 300k, you are one of the DPS players that people are complaining about. Even though there are people doing, another 10 times that, in solos, um, like you're already at a point where you're so far ahead of the average player who's not hitting keybinds, doesn't hit their abilities, doesn't know how to move on the map. You're already so far ahead that you're an elitist DPSer. Was Plasmonic Leech out at that time? Yeah. Um. So they changed the cooldown on it. That's interesting. Yeah, Muak. Yeah, I've I said that to Thomas earlier this year. It would be nice if the default setting was just changed so it was weapon power max right off the bat. Adapt, correct. The dilithium ships are per character. Was plasmonically each at the time, but that was such a long time ago. That's another thing too. Is even though I started out free to play, I can't give like the way that I approached the game back then isn't going to work for someone that's just starting out now. Like the things that I was able to do, the things that I was able to take advantage of were, the sort of situations where you had to be there in the right spot at the right time to take advantage of them. For instance, one of my initial like big market plays was taking advantage of the Infinity Lockbox when it first came out. Um, because in the first couple of days, like people just didn't understand it. People did not understand the Infinity Lockbox, so it you had people that were going in and just kept buying things like Chemosite at the prices they were at before. Like Chemosite used to cost as much as lockbox ships because it was so rare to get. And with Infinity, it's obviously very easy to get. So like I made like 10 billion EC over the course of like 2 or 3 days as a free to play player. Just by going in and playing the market, being in the right spot at the right time to take advantage. Um, and that was back when like lockbox ships were like 200 mil a pop. So it's like it's hard for me to give like some advice on like on the free to play approach because I need to revisit it because the way I did it just isn't there anymore. Is basically what I'm saying. Um, Weapons. So I do weapons max, and then the rest is split between engines and aux. Basically, it was much more strategic back then. Yeah, there was definitely a lot more strategy to doing runs back then. A lot more coordination. Um, Everything was a little bit more accessible because I mean, back then Starship traits didn't exist. Um, there wasn't quite as much lockbox stuff out at that time, so it was basically like getting into a fleet and getting fleet gear was like the way to build up. Um, yeah, I was doing loads of solos. I was even doing PvP back then. I was really engaged with like the end game DPS scene, and back then I didn't have money to really toss and stuff, but I got in, um, took advantage of a couple nice things back there, and I made a bunch of characters early on. You guys see, many of you also comment on this that I have a boatload of characters. Yeah. Um, going through doing all these, running contraband on all of them each day, like that used to be a huge way that I was going in and doing things free to play. I mean, I still could do that. Like contraband, I've got a video on that. Let me find it here. Contraband. Okay. So yeah, I did a video all the way back in 2018. Wow, that intro I used to do was cringe, but I had a video I did all the way back in 2018, 8 years ago, already going over like the contraband approach and like how you could use it to make EC. Like this was for a long time like the free to play approach. I mean, you could still do this; it would still work. Um, it's just that people get turned off by all the characters you have to do for it. Yeah, I saw that, Viper. I saw your message in chat. Yeah, no win was certainly interesting back then, for sure, for sure. Spam the subspace fracture tunneling field. You don't even want to necessarily spam it. Like, you want to be a bit... Ideally, you want to be a bit strategic with that. Oh, thank you for the follow. Leveling to 50 in PvP was fun, yeah. But yeah, I mean, just having boatloads of characters to farm resources on, that's a good thing to do free to play. I think the dill farming, I think it's still very viable. In fact, I at points feel like I should start doing this stuff again. Like, it doesn't take that long to do like a contraband rotation. It's just a matter of keeping my characters near a security officer. Cryptic did remove some of the really nice keybinds. But yeah. Was I free to play during the Agronaut thing? Oh yeah. Yeah, because I by that point I'd had my account set up with the 40, 50 characters, and I I was doing just a ton of grinding. Yeah, I mean my Zen purchases, I don't want to pull everything up on stream here, but I've added this stuff up before. I didn't really start spending until I'd say my expenses with STO only really got to the point that they're at now, like in the 2020s. But yeah, the best way to not fail on contraband mission, I don't... Can it fail? I don't think I've ever had this fail. I don't think I've ever seen a turnover confiscated contraband fail. Can I view purchase history? I can't go all the way back. There's got to be like archive transactions somewhere, but yeah, like I mean, I was not like a big spender. Let me just show this. Like this was my expenses in like, or for most of 2015 through 2017. Like most of what I did back then, like especially Happy Mortal, you mentioned the Agronaut days. That was pretty much done with me just grinding Contraband. One of my shipping lanes got taken out. Oh no. Gotcha. Hmm. Yeah, you can just buy Contraband with EC. Yeah. But, I mean that's how I have a lot of my Contraband nowadays. Yeah, the power of grinding, I mean, you can still do the grind. I mean, and Admiralty makes it a lot easier. It's just harder to do because of the deluxe backlog. But it's still entirely viable. But let me see, this character, it'd be my fleet bank here, I think has all the Contraband. Yes, there's a bunch of Contraband. Just the two? Yeah. So I've got like 100 stacks of Contraband, plus whatever I have on most of my characters right now. Yeah, it's like 12, like, I don't remember how much a stack of Contraband costs right now. Let's go check. The hanger pets that steal Contraband aren't worth it. They're so slow. What do I think of the leak stats of the new Cavort? I think it's very, very good. It's not a mere angle killer like some of us were hoping for, but it's going to be a very, very good platform. I think they're going to see feedback from Torp users wanting that to have like a better cloak for Torp spam, especially with stuff, you know, like Assault Formation Theta. But I think, you know, regardless, it's going to be a really good platform. What's Contraband at now? Contraband, commodities, 32K. So I mean that's not too bad. There's not much on the market though. It wouldn't take much to clear this entire market. No, it'd be a trivial amount of EC to just clear the entire Contraband market. But yeah, grinding was a lot easier back then. And Admiralty, of course, if you're doing that, like, that can add up quite a bit. Though, I wish that there was, like, an autofill for the ships or some keybinds that you could use. That would make things a little bit easier. Give me a signed ship. A good size ship. What we talked about Gone 2 before. There we go. Yeah, that makes sense. You're talking about one of the missions to obtain Contraband. Yeah. Yeah, the missions to obtain Contraband can fail, but the mission to convert Contraband to dilithium, that never fails. Yeah, Shadow. Okay, so just on a couple characters there, I got 363k dill. I probably have more. I almost I've thought about it'd be interesting again just to do the dill grind for a couple days. Um because if the Cavort is a dilithium obtained ship, which I'm hoping it is, you know, I'm hoping it has a dill buyout. Um it'd be interesting to do enough grinding to, you know, just get it with dilithium. I grind it up in the meantime. ISS CasualSAB on console. Is this your secret alt? No, 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 no. My console is not on right now. It is in standby, and you can't see it because it's not on the camera. Yeah, it's on standby. I don't know if you can see the little lights there. Also, I just realized the camera's got a bit of a white glow to it. Terrible. That means there's not enough lighting in here. Let's increase the lighting. Amaron. I have a nice lighting upgrade that'll happen in the near future, but let me see. Okay, that is way too bright. That light being behind me is also not helping. That is at 1% with that light. This thing gets bright. Very, very bright. I've got 2 more of those coming that I got off eBay used, so I'm going to reposition these lights around, and I'll have better lighting for streams and stuff here soon. Getting the JJ lens flare, yeah. Need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb also while I'm right here. Ken, how's it going? Yeah, just divide the contraband between your characters, and yeah, you can do a little bit of grinding. Okay, does Carl here have some dilithium? 360k? Carl is rolling in it. Okay, beautiful. 365. And 85. There we go. I wish we could just move our dilithium between characters via the account bank. That would make life a bit easier. Again, I already responded to that. Yeah. Also, I know that I need to do a breakdown for the new Muds bundle. I'm sorry for the delay there. Spencer has doubled the cost of contraband in 5 minutes. Have I? I mean that wasn't like a hard thing to do. I mean, there was barely any listings up. Now there's 48 listings, and even at like 10 mil per stack, that's not bad. Like there are times where I spent more than that. Like what I used to do for dill grinding. I mean, I may as well just show you guys. Um, I've got videos of this on the channel, but like I would go through, I'd have all my characters stationed at the security officer, and I would just go through and spam stuff. Um, I don't think the botters really worry about that stuff. Like I used to complain about Admiralty all the time for like being abused by bots, and that's because like way back in this was around 2020. I don't remember if it was before everything popped off, but like I was shown someone like actually running like a fully automated Admiralty setup, and that's why I was like going off about that stuff for years. Like it's because like the botters are already automating it because they have image recognition, they can read the screen, and that's only gotten easier in the past couple years. So these malicious actors are abusing that system, and it's not just getting dill, it's also getting EC. I don't know if we need a breakdown to know the new Muds bundle sucks. Terrible. That's not the language I would use. I should reposition my characters towards the security officer. If I actually want to go through and do the dill grind, that would probably be wise. Basically, if I do the contraband turn-ins on all of my characters, all of them that are high enough level to do DOF missions, then that's like around 60 characters that I can do contraband on each day. And each of those would be getting just off contraband, that would be 2,000 dilithium per each day. So I would have to feed them with contraband, but like if I do that, like it's very quick to actually do the contraband mission. Like it's just log in, have the character parked near the security officer. Yeah, that's also one of the things too. Like as a content creator, like I have to cover this stuff, but there's also some things that release where it's like you don't even need the breakdown to know that it's not really that good. Um, like the entire appeal here is basically, do you want the Borg assimilator or Zentaur account wide? Like that's it. But yeah, the contraband stuff, it's a lot easier once the characters are actually parked near the security officer. Um, but literally, it's just a matter of hitting the thing, doing the mission, and like you can be in and out of a character here in like 15, 20 seconds. So back in the day when I did this stuff, I recorded it back in 2018 because I was accused of botting quite a bit back then. Like me doing 50 characters worth of contraband, that took just under 18 minutes. So I got 100,000 lithium in 18 minutes. Like, it was easier back then because there were keybinds. Like, there were some keybinds for Dolphin that have since been removed, but you get the point. It was much easier. Now, all of my characters are scattered around because I haven't done this stuff in a long time. But, like, if my characters were at the security officer, it would literally be log in, collect the previous DOF mission, start the new one, and back off to the next character. Sent me a DM. Yeah, let me look at it here. Let's pull this up on screen. Traits. You've got the Ethereum beam enhancements. I mean, it looks fine. You got Withering, Terran. What are you missing? Hold on. Spencer isn't a botter. He's a bot that plays the game. I used to be called a bot in like Rainbow Six Siege. My teammates did not like this was not good, you know, thinking about it. But I would always do the like I'd find a couple optimal paths to approach a building and I would follow, you know, just follow those for like going in, clearing. I'd pre-fire certain spots and that would occasionally get some interesting wall bangs and yeah. Trait wise, I don't have a Therian on, but I mean you're fine to do that. You've got the cooldown reduction space rep trait. You don't need that, but if you want to keep it on, if it feels better for you, then do it. Yeah, the difference is I've got the legendary nebula trait on and the noble trait, but if you don't want to deal with those, then what you have on is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Muak, I got a lot of heat for that. That legitimately was not me, like interviewing myself. I am not a gold seller, and as I've said before, I I would not do anything to violate the Star Trek Online terms of service. Um, on my primary account or my secondaries. See, I'm changing up the language for y'all. Um, Contraband is okay. That's an excessive price. Okay, that is now an excessive price. 100,000 EC per contraband. What am I using to spam the noble trait? Just all the captain abilities. So there's clearly been more that is leaked onto Trible that people are finding. The Gagarin has access to the Kelvin materials on Trible, so Stargate, that's a very interesting find. That means that For the Gagarin fans here, you guys are going to be having one of the new Kelvin ships is going to kitbash, is what that indicates. Without using a VPN, do you think I use VPNs? Do you think I would do that? Do you think I would do such a thing? Parliament as well. Terrible. I lucked out VPN wise. I got a lifetime subscription to Windscribe back in uh it was sometime between 2016 and 2018. Um I paid under $50 for it, and that's basically been my primary VPN ever since. I lucked out that Windscribe was one of the few VPNs that offering the lifetime sub that actually worked out and has stuck around. Yeah. A week is interesting. Vanguard Wingman is cloaked bird of prey. Oh no. Carl, thank you for the follow. Yeah. I don't think a legendary Gagarin. I don't know if that'd be a good play for them to do near term Shadow, because the legendary ships come with all the accessories and all that from the prior Gagarin variants, or from the prior versions of that ship, and there's so much with the Gagarin. I feel like that'd be a bit tricky for them monetization wise, because they'd still want to, monetize the others. Spencer, in the case of Yoda versus Palpatine, which do I think was committing elder abuse? Um, well, I was gonna try to troll and say what franchise is that from, but I don't know. They're both old. Apparently, the presence of Spencer affects the exchange indirectly. We were talking about stuff that I used to do, free to play. One of the things I used to do was open the Tal Shiar lockboxes to get the Plasmonic Leech console packs back in the day, because that was how you got them on Feds. And I got so much EC from that back in the day. That's no longer a thing you can do, but there's just so much market play that I did over the years, where it was, again, it was the case of you had to be there at the right time, right place, right time. That makes it hard for people to follow exactly what I did. But the contraband stuff I've had on the channel for a better part of a decade, and like anyone following that stuff, like that works. He wanted as many Tal Shiar adapted destroyers as he could get. I need these echelons to clear out. I got like 12 more echelons to sell. Sorry, I'm just looking at stuff. Oh yeah. So with the new Muds bundle, I've had people asking, are the consoles unlocked? No, nope. I haven't actually gone around to testing them either, because it's just been a busy week. Busy week, just been busy everywhere. Dan, thank you for the super chat and the bits. As always, I appreciate it. But the console off of the Denois, oh, I forgot that I upgraded this ship. What the hell is the name of the console? I don't have it on. Hold on. Still wiki. Denouis, Chronoton Fragmentation Warhead. Probably. Um, it's not that bad. I just was like super negative, okay? You guys know how I've been in the past, you know, that there were a couple releases where it's like it's not meta, therefore it doesn't matter. I try to be a bit more positive nowadays because I understand that not everyone cares about the meta. Um, it's not horrendous. I mean, it's workable, perfectly workable layout. I mean, the only negative is the 4-3. Everything can do it. I sort of I hate that I have to say that. Okay, I hate that I have to say everything. You know that each of the ships is able to do the content because it's everything can do it. We are in the everything is viable meta. It's just you have to know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you can make anything work, and that tends to be the issue. Did I see the fan art of the Omega particle ships? I don't. I have not seen anything on that, Jeffrey. Um, where was it posted? Yeah, again, it's not actually a bad ship. The console though is still locked to the Sphere Builder ships. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's not terrible. Let me get some traits on, and I guess we can just run this through a TFO or something quick and get you guys numbers of some sort. The last time I posted a bunch of bonus pools up, they all bounced back. Did I do a video on crafting the Ryza kit? You mean the getting the perfect mod? Yeah, yeah, I've got a video on that. If you look it up on the channel, you'll see it. Um, uh, the thing with the Cavort is that the stats are not final, so there's still some room for things to change a little bit. Okay, what do I have on right now? Withering, UD, Ruin, TG. I've got Emergency Weapon Cycle. I'll leave that because this character doesn't have Trafalgar. Um, Cultural Conquest needs to be on here. And let's see. I don't want to do Legendary Nebula. To be honest, the Nebula trait is nice. Big numbers, but it's also just a massive pain. Just do sad. I don't know. Let's do a public queue ISE. I'll see how it is. I don't expect it to do much. These Torp style consoles like this, especially in the older days, just always struggled. So just public queue ISE, and I'll take the Sphere Builder in and just see what happens. Is that a Jem'Hadar Lifetime ship you see? Not next to me right now. Oh, I guess yeah. The shape looks a little similar. Is that what you were saying? Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Again, and I'd be perfectly fine with the speed of the cavort taking a little bit of a hit in order to get like an enhanced battle cloak, because the enhanced battle cloak is really good for torp spammers with the assault formation theta trait off of the legendary Talus. Gotcha. Again, public queue for ISE for those that want in. You're prepping for the next last stand bundle sale. You're gonna break out your underused KDF tune and build it outright. Nice. Yeah, Dark Eddy for sure. Do I have to pilot it with a trackball? I mean, if that's the case, I'm screwed. All I've got are all the, traditional gaming mice. I hope not. I haven't. I am old enough that I did use like one or two trackball mice like when I was much much younger. Um, Actually more than a few. Damn. Like I remember this old compact we used to have that I know my mom got in the mid to late 90s, and I remember the mouse on it where you had to like twist the thing at the bottom to take the ball out and like clean it. You have a thumb trackball. You love it for STO. Yeah.
The situation is...
Maybe I should try something like that at some point. Just something a little different. I didn't put an aux spat on.
Scanning the nanite trench. Gun. Additional data available.
Or deuterium? Wow. Why am I going so incredibly slow?
Nanite probe can repair the trench. Stop them.
I am getting no cooldown reduction for my captain abilities.
A probe is closing in on the trench. Destroy it.
Like my worst ISC in ages. Okay, let's see. Did I get any numbers off the thingy? I mean, it's still a million somehow. Okay, but did I get anything off of it? That's I know that was not like a perfect test, but if the console be doing 5K with a couple activations, it no good. Um, Sora, yeah. If Nick is even watching, Nick's been in a sad mood with STO stuff recently. Yeah, he was sad about the summer ground stuff not being good, and I don't know. I think he's just in one of his little like burnout phases. It happens. Yeah, and the Zenkethi stuff is still ship locked also, so there will be a VOD. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot to even put complex on because this is a plasma setup. That's my bad. I didn't even. I'm so used to not running plasma now because of twinkling lights. I forgot to put complex actually on the build. Yeah, Chadwick. Um, yeah. I have Disco 3-piece on, so that's why I wasn't moving as fast because I don't have my competitive engine boost. I had the Disco stuff on from when I was doing the patrols with this ship for that video. That video got a bit of heat too on Reddit, I saw, but like people don't like I know the patrol video, like how to quickly level up a ship, like that's basic stuff. I get that. That's the point. Like even even though that was, basic knowledge, that there were still things in there that people, were learning. Like there were several comments about people saying they didn't know that they could disable the thing to put gear on a ship automatically. I mean, it's good. The more controversial a video is, the better. And that's something else too for anyone that wants to get started on the YouTube stuff, or even Twitch. Like, you just gotta understand when you're putting yourself out there with content, like you're not going to get always a positive reaction. Um, Generally, I will. There are some cases where when people leave a negative comment, I'll still do like a like and like the heart thing. Um, like you just gotta have thick skin. You gotta just accept it and recognize that those negative comments, those can be a positive for you because that's the more engagement there is on a video, even if it's a negative comment, a dislike, whatever, that's showing engagement and boosting it up in the YouTube algorithm. So you just gotta have thick skin. If someone says something mean, you just gotta accept it, move on. Don't worry about it too much unless it's something like serious, like a threat or something. Um, and just know that they're being negative, but negative or not, it's still helping the content. Yeah, Shadow. Um, there's some beginner stuff that I want to get done. It's just a matter of finding the time to get things to line up. Um, my my objective here in the next couple of months is to get my existing bigger content pieces that I've been talking about for a while, to get those done. Um, Stuff like Crate, ISOCON. I want build guides for both of those done so I can move on and you guys can, have that stuff to reference. Those are just really big time commitments. That's why they haven't happened thus far. Um, yeah, I need to get my best premium ships video for the video or for the year done, but I don't need to rush with that because we're not even getting the next event for another month, so that'll probably end up being like a mid-July video. But I would like to, after getting those bigger content pieces done, I'd like to start shifting more towards that beginner stuff. I've had some chats with people. I'm going to get roasted for this, but I have used some tools to help me find some of the the pain points that new people have, um, to create, so I could create like an outline of a new beginner focused series going over some of the basics with the game. Um, and I would say that that's one of the points where AI is actually like quite helpful of like summarizing all the comments on a video or looking through all the comments in my videos to find like some of those pain points that people repeatedly bring up. Um, but like just going in and doing a new beginner focus series addressing that sort of stuff. Also, the secondary builds channel is still going to happen. It's just a matter of the timing. Nice. For a thumb trackball, try the Logitech Ergo Plus. There was a bunch of Logitech stuff on Woot the other day. Woot. Is it still there? No, it's still there right now. Let's see. You're saying like some Logitech trackball. Can I go dark mode here? There we go. Do they got a nice trackball on here today? Yeah, yeah, they do. Got a bunch of Logitech stuff. Okay. Um, is this one you're saying? The Ergo Plus? Yes, this looks like it's probably the prior one. Refurbished. Extra 20% off. I'm not dropping that sort of money on a mouse right now, but that's interesting. It'd be interesting to try. I just don't know how much I'd actually like it. Oh. Barefoot, thank you for the super sticker. This is what Sarah Connor warned us about. Oh yeah. Thank you. Over on the Builds Discord, I completely forgot to mention this, but you guys that are paying attention right now are going to have a very good opportunity to win a ship. Over on the Builds Discord, right now we have a giveaway running courtesy of the Salty Dragon, where you'll have a chance to win on PC an Infinity Prize Pack T6 ship. Barefoot on the Roland 808. Roland makes some good stuff. I'm using the audio interface I use is the Roland Bridgecast. It works really well for me. Yeah, so if you want to enter giveaways channel in the Builds Discord, just hit the party icon there. I was curious what was being flagged. Ryoken linked to the old STO wiki and that got hit. Someone attempted to evade a ban. Terrible. Is a pain point that most beginner guides say that you need X amount of money, ships, consoles, etc. Yeah. Um, there's ways to certainly build free to play, and I think as part of some of that beginner focused content, that'll probably involve me just making a new account and doing some stuff on my own to like just get a beginner build or two sorted out. The issue is if I show like a beginner, if I do one of those like beginner challenges on stream, people will throw things towards me, towards the account. Is that the new Metasto mouse? No, it's interesting though. It certainly is interesting, but I don't want to drop. I'm not dropping $80 on that. Oh no. Beautiful. Looks like there's been some things that have made their way into the ship Taylor over on Trible. Know of any decent big hand mice? I was using a Razor Death Adder for a while. Pulsar, like the Pulsar X-Lite series is pretty good. Nice ergo mouse. I know Endgame Gear has an ergo mouse incoming. But basically you want to look for ergo mouse. Ergo mice, yeah. Is that in Spencer Builds? Don't see the link in YouTube. It's in STO Builds. It should be right below the stream. Yeah, it should be down there. Your channel. Hold on. Yeah, if you look at the description, the builds Discord, yeah. Right down in the description, you should see the builds Discord and then CasualSAB Discord. Terrible. And a reminder too, for those of you buying Zen via Epic, that sale is going on right now. Though they changed the checkout, so you have to open a drop down now to see the interface to type in the creator code. Very inconvenient. Now, I don't have any videos scheduled right now for sponsored stuff. I think some of the companies that were sending me stuff have like finally realized that nobody watches those videos for the most part, and that they're backing down. Yeah, if you're buying STO, Zen, or anything else through the Epic Game Store, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you use the creator code at checkout. They've made it a little bit harder to go in and type that in, but yeah, it's still something you can do. Have they started their summer sales yet? I know the Steam summer sales are up. I mean, there's some sales. I don't know if it's as big as Steam. Doesn't look like it. They don't even have Resident Evil Requiem on sale yet. Yeah, I can do that. Let me get these both opened. So we got some images here courtesy of Stargate, who's been looking at the Taylor over on Trible. So you can see here that the Parliament now has access to some of the Kelvin materials, indicating that one of the upcoming Kelvin ships is going to kitbash with the Parliament. And also the Gagarin also has some of the Kelvin stuff unlocked for it now. So it seems that they're going, you know, again with the kitbash focus with the upcoming Kelvin bundle ships. So one of them is going to kitbash with the Gagarin line. Another is going to kitbash with the Parliament. A reason to have the Parliament? Yeah, potentially. Everything kitbashes with it. Stargate again, thank you for sending that over. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know when console will get the low limit favor change. I don't know. For the stack size. Yeah, I'm just not too worried about getting another mouse right now. I mean, how many do I have on the desk here? There's one. There's another. Here's another. Um, there's another with a wire. Disgusting. So here's the one I was actually using. Um, I've got enough. Dropping my new Ryzen processor. Might be a new computer build in the near future also. Has there been a Kelvin style Miranda? No. They're all ones I've been sent for videos. Well, aside from the endgame gear one. Okay, the endgame gear. Which of these have I bought? I bought the XM2W 4K V2. I bought the Pulsar X Lite. Two of these actually. My mom's using the other one. But the Rapo stuff, the ATK, that's all been sent to me. More Mirandas? Yeah, I mean, there needs to be more Mirandas in the game, for sure. There's not enough, right? Gary, terrible. For the stream tomorrow, I don't know what I actually want to do. We need 8 billion Miranda variants. Nice, Taryn. Isn't it create a sea snake? I honestly don't remember. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do for the stream tomorrow. Like, I've already done like a stream with the GOM 2. I've already done. Oh no. Yeah, I remember Mr. Vups when that first came out. People were going crazy for it. Yeah, you've not used the Zenkethi ship yet. The Zenkethi Zentar is pretty good. If you're feeling cute, you might or could sunbathe at Ryzen and collect lol nuts. Terrible. You know, something I haven't done yet. Make a no-click DPS build to match Nick's no-click tank build. I don't think the click stuff is as relevant, like the non-uncon setups, because with the console activation time changes, like there's a lot of really powerful consoles you can just spam bar now. I think no, not like to the extent that the NPCs have it. Nice. I don't know. What other daily do I have here? The dilithium transporter off of the Credence is a big one. Tachyon Netrons. Um, like my Damocles is almost entirely just like passive clicky at this point. So let me go up. I think the only consoles I have on my Damocles right now that are like think about actually hitting them is the Agony and probably like Voven. Okay, Damocles. By the way, Damocles, especially with the Miradorn console change, like the Damocles is like legitimately one of the top Federation ships. Like just straight up one of the best. Like before it was just a slight upgrade over the Avenger, but now with the extra boost we're getting for the flanking from the Miradorn console, like it's pretty damn good. Yeah, so the console off the Damocles, you can also spam bar now, the NP, the lithium transporter. The only console I have on here that I probably shouldn't is Agony for making this passive. I could also just drop hold on. Yeah, let me make a few changes here. Um yeah, let's just drop that and get the GOM2 one on. Yeah, I know not everyone's a fan of the visuals of this ship. I get it. Not every ship can appeal to everyone. 'Tis how it goes. But yeah, I mean this is a pretty passive setup, for what I normally do. But let's look at this here. Let's do a run. How about a stream about a Psy tank? Um, I don't know. I'm not as big into the tanking stuff right now. But let's just do a public infected. That was insta-pop, okay. Got the Ethereum Harmony. You love that ship? Nice. The event campaign is pretty useless to you now because you own every important meta ship in MUDs, and every fun ship you want in MUDs. Nice. There will be new things in the event campaign. There always is. That'll be of interest to you. Yeah, the Damocles, it legitimately is a really good ship, especially, just with the flanking stuff it's got on it, and now double dipping on that with the Mirador console with Intel flanking as well. A PB AoE build, yeah, it's called the Nadarian Defender, and the Nadarian, the jellyfish, has set records before.
The situation is grim.
Cheater. What is Intel flanking? If you have the Intel specialization as your primary, you get Intel, you basically get to flank everything. The situation is grim, I know.
Resistance is futile.
Scanning the nanite trench. Got it. Additional data is available.
There's a little bit of lag right there. Oh, yeah.
The nanite probe can repair the transceivers. Stop them.
Just a wee bit of lag.
The probe is closing in on a transceiver. Destroy it.
Fire it, real misfire. The server performance here sucks. Yeah, server performance, unfortunately, in that one sucked, but that was that was a bit more of a passive setup where, most of my consoles are on spam bar.
Transform conduit has been destroyed. However,
Let's see damage. The lag is just the Borg adapting to your DPS, yeah. I don't know. Situation was very grim, yes. Holy cow. Antimatter interweave off of the Obina did 245k DPS in that run. Damn. It picked up because some of the other stuff misfired. The Scientific Burst, the console off of the GOM 2 did 79. The Lithium off the Credence did 100. That wasn't the best run. Like the Fa, what was my Fa uptime here? So basically, I mean, Fa was up the start of the run, but everything after 45 seconds just straight up had no fire at will because the server sucks. It happens. The PC will adapt to serve us. Terrible. If CSV or Fa were toggles, you'd never have to worry. Yeah, that'd be nice. Imagine. So I got screwed over on the external GPU dock that I got for this mini PC that I was going to use for the STO Linux stuff. And with the deals going on right now, I mean, I can still order like a new external GPU dock, but I realized instead it would be better for me to use this mini PC for other things on my home lab. And for the STO Linux stuff, I've got an extra AM5 motherboard. I've got an extra GPU. The only thing I really needed was another CPU. So Amazon had some pretty nice sales recently, and I picked up a 9600X. So the Linux STO content, it's going to happen on a proper desktop, which I'll probably build on a stream live in the near future. You're having an error with Oscar when I try to upload the damage track. Make sure you're on the most recent version of Oscar. The 9600X was 130. It was 130 for the CPU, brand new off Amazon. For the RAM, so for the RAM, I have a total on hand right now. I have 3 computers that each have 2 sticks of DDR5 in them. I am going to split one of those sets so that one of those computers will have 1 stick in it, and this build will have a single stick of DDR5 in it. It'll be 24 gigs. Because I'm basically I have a 48 gig kit in one computer, so 2 24 gig sticks. I'm going to split that up, and 24 gigs will be more than sufficient for what I'm looking to do here. Ideally, I'd like to get more RAM, but the current market situation just makes that not feasible. More RAM than the Steam machine, yeah. The alternative would be to grab a stick of RAM from one of my workstations, but I don't want to do that. I really like the amount of RAM in those. But yeah, the Damocles, it's a really good ship. Let's do let's do a Hive. Hive Onslaught Elite public queue. Let's do it. Well, okay. I didn't want to say how much RAM was in the other 2 computers, Hammer. Because if I say that, y'all are gonna get pitchforks and say he's got RAM and get him. Both of my workstations have 96 gigs of RAM in them, DDR5. So, like, it's 2 48 gig kits in both of them. I got it before everything went crazy. Like, one of the 96 gig kits I paid $294. The other was $170. Like somewhere around 150, 170. It's like somewhere right around there. Like the market was different. No. You're getting your ram-shaped pitchfork out? Oh no, Dark Eddie, no, no, no. Unfortunately, the AI bubble will burst, but it's going to be... I think it's going to be like .com where you're just seeing a lot of consolidation. Um, you should always do the event campaigns. You don't know what useful ships are going to pop up in there. Rams, is that like a golf thing? I don't really know.
Resistance is futile.
I'm gonna die. Fire at will again. Misfired. No. I let y'all down. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have a lot of hardware right now. I truthfully, I am at a point hardware-wise where I, as a tech hoarder, it feels bad, like weird saying this, but I feel like I might have too much. I feel like, you know, I saw the market situation was about to go really bad, and I may have went too far in the hoarding of hardware.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
I am eternal. This is not.
Yeah, the bubble. Unfortunately, it's like any disruptive technology where the issue is with AI is that there is actually use cases where it can be beneficial. It's just massively overblown right now, and they're trying to shovel it every last place. Like, it is a tech that the AI marketing also sucks because it's just machine learning. Like, machine learning does like actually have useful applications. It's just the way that it's being pushed and shoved at everything right now just is not good. And the things that they think it can do is it's not doing. It'll be a long time until we see prices normalize. Anyone parse that? Yeah, I parsed it. Here we go. Bacon. I see your pets. They're not even building them, though. Like, they're not building all of them. They've already scaled back on that. um, the public is starting to become aware of the issues of having them around too, with like the sound and the amount of water they use and electricity. I mean, we're all paying for it on our electricity bills. Um, the government basically is like subsidizing these companies, and then we're the ones paying for it, which just really sucks. Um, and the entire point of it is just because they're hoping that they're going to be able to replace most jobs with with these models and stuff, and it just there's been some horrible decisions made. Yeah, I saw the GN article. You'll rent PCs now? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The line must go up, yeah. Scientific burst there. The GOM 2 console was one of my top damage sources. Yeah, so the GOM 2 console, guys, I know I haven't done a video on it. There's a lot of videos I need to get done. But the GOM 2 console, just run it in a side console slot. Will a bulldozer? Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to know what you're doing with that bulldozer. Yeah, there's renting the idea of renting PCs is a no-go for me. And the Steam machine, the pricing on that was ridiculous. Yeah. OS, how's it going? Not too, not doing too much here. Just some casual content. And can I do my winter daily yet? Another hour? I think we'll see this crash back down enough to a point where some of those plans that they have, I don't think are going to fully come to fruition. Um, I think the optimist in me thinks that in a couple years we'll see RAM prices start to trickle back down. I mean, you can build a computer right now. As much as we are going on about the prices, it's not like you can't find deals. Um, I know this is not something everyone can do, but just an example, like Micro Center is still doing their bundles, and those bundles are like incredibly good. You can still, put something together with like older hardware. Like if you want to go the newest stuff, AM5, it's gonna be rough. But like if you're willing to go older, there's some good stuff. I mean, even did the 270K bundles increase? Oh, terrible. The price on the Intel bundles they had went up $100, but I mean still like 650 for one of the newest Intel processors with a motherboard and 32 gigs of RAM. That's not far off of the pricing we saw like last year. Like there are deals to be found. It's just it's hard. It is certainly hard. Um, Terran Acheron in the Borg Simulator and the Ethereum Harmony and Noble. Yeah. Yeah, so there is stuff out there. It's hard. I mean, even that's not terrible. Like, it's just 16 gigs of RAM, but CPU, motherboard, and 16 gigs of RAM, and it's an X3D processor for 350. Like, that's not terrible. Yeah, the latency, the lag you're gonna have trying to remote into a PC is really going to kill that approach. Like the internet is our speeds are a lot better than they used to be, but it's still not quite enough. Also, I want to see what is like 16 gigs of RAM over on eBay right now. Like, I'm just curious. Okay, not newly listed. Let's do price list first. Buy it now. Don't want a stick of CAM memory. Not so damn. There's a lot of. I hate these Newegg ones that keep popping up on eBay. It's like, man, it's just reminding me what the prices used to be. Um, but I mean, yeah, the prices are not great, but it's not like you can't find some cheap usable RAM, especially if you're willing to look used. If you're looking new, then it's going to be a bit rough, but I've seen 16 gigs still for like sub 150 when looking around recently. Everything is SODIMM. You can get SODIMM adapters. SODIMM is laptop RAM. There's a lot of SODIMM here. Yeah, you could do a lot worse, yeah. Another place that I like to look at is Java. Java, I've gotten a lot of great deals over there. This this mini PC here, this GMK Tech, this has, I forget which AMD processor, but it's also got 32 gigs of RAM soldered onto it. But I got this on Java, and it was like 300 and something bucks. Yeah, you may as well just go DDR4, and yeah, you can get DDR4. Like I was looking at. Let me find it here again. Like I was looking at some RAM for my server recently because one of my sticks is starting to act up, and let's go buy it now. But I was surprised to see that the price on even the ECC sticks that I use in my server, that they've started to come back down. Like if you're doing DDR4, like that is still extremely affordable. Like I need to set this filter to US only. I mean that's an 8 gig stick for 20 bucks. I know we are just really on random topics here today, but it's whatever. Yeah, I don't see the exact one, but one of my ECC sticks I saw on here the other day for like 30, 40 bucks, and it's like there was 16 gigs of DDR4 ECC for like 30 bucks. It's like, damn. We're seeing some parts of the market start to cool back down. But there's the point is there's still deals to be found out there. Yeah. And of course you can also just find some entire like pre-built computers that are at reasonable prices. Yeah, if you are buying used RAM, you just gotta test it. Yeah, just test it when you get it. Pop it in, let it run overnight. I have not seen that bad splat, but that doesn't surprise me. You got your last two from Microsoft? And there's a DDR4 kit, two 8 gig sticks for 40 bucks. So like, yeah, I mean for DDR4 you can still find stuff. Like it's the market sucks. We all know that. But you can still put together a computer. You can still build something pretty decent with the current market. Is it going to be the most ideal stats that you wanted? No, it's not. If you were hoping to put together like a super high-end computer, it's not as feasible as it was, a couple of years ago. But you can still put something together at a very affordable level. Like if all you're wanting to do is play games like STO, especially like 1080p, like you can do it. Some are just corrupted EPROMs, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where he got the he had like a little kit from was it AliExpress to go in and just reflash the EPROM. Yeah, I have one of those, not for that, but I use a kit like that for my GPU. I when I took my 7900 XTX apart to put the water block on it, I I went in and I had also flashed the BIOS over to one of the higher end 7900 XTXs. Yeah. Less than computer meta. Terrible. We are just really talking about random things tonight, aren't we? But yeah, for tomorrow, I don't know. What do you guys want to see tomorrow? Like I've seen one, was it Dark Eddie said science tank? Oh no, we should do something different. The Dodge Ram. I don't have a Dodge Ram. I have a how is it? Do I have a Tahoe right now? I don't even remember what car I have. I'm not really a car person. It's not something I ever really care about too much. Eric, thank you for stopping by. Pressure test is good. It looks like this radiator is entirely brand new as the seller advertised, which is good. Should finish the story stream I was doing. That's a good point. Yeah, I should do that. Go to Trible and solo Indian Battle Zone. Do a Costco run for tomorrow's stream. No. Not going to do a Costco run. That would be funny to do for a video, but that's not something I need to do on stream. For like 250, yeah. Yeah, you can totally do, especially like an AM4 build. That'll be plenty sufficient to play STO. How much RAM does a 2026 RAM use? Too much. Yeah, I think that's the idea. Orange chicken run. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get this radiator back in this bubble wrap. All you want is 32 gigs of RAM and a big SSD. I've got too much going on for 32 gigs, but that is really, if you're especially like single monitor, like 32 is sufficient. I have too much background stuff running. And Windows. I have Windows, so that makes things very fun. So I'm just gonna this box back up. And bot farms? No, there's no bot farms. What ship am I in? I'm in the Damocles. It's a recent lockbox ship. It goes live on console very soon. Yeah. But it's really good. It's legitimately one of the best Federation ships. Rerun a site uncon build. Yeah, a Psi Uncon is just crate with weaker consoles. He's moved on from bot farms. He's growing a baby AI just now. Terrible. I gotta be careful saying anything with AI. Like, I do actually have things that I use AI stuff for, but people get very upset if I say that. That there are ways, that there are legitimate use cases for it. It's just, again, that everything that they're just the shoving it everywhere focus is not good. Terrible. Let's do another TFO. What do we have here? Infected's on 3-minute cooldown. Let's do a cure found delete. $96 gigs of RAM in my computer. Terrible. I mean, I've got 128 gig in two computers, but those are running slower RAM. My primary server's got 8 16 gig sticks in it, and I do technically have a another computer up there that's got 128 gigs of DDR3 on it. Does that count? Oh, DDR5 Viper. Is the trader console off the ship meta? The console's really good off this. It's not like top 13, but it's really good. It gives you, when it's active, it's plus 20 power. And this is a pure phaser build right here. Yeah. How am I inputting my throttle? Keyboard or mouse? Keyboard. Spamming Q and E. No, this is actually, so you can make it look like that in a way. That's sort of what I've got going here. It's not quite like that, but it's sort of got that vibe. Is this ship better than the Atlantis? They're different things. So this is the Merc Worker Intel. The Atlantis is, temp Intel, or Intel temp. I don't remember which way it goes, but the point is here, the Damocles, it's Merc Worker Intel, and it's a frigate, so it has built-in Raider flanking. And then, we just got the recent change to the Miradorn console, which also provides a buff to Raider and Intel flanking. And so you can double dip there by having Intel primary. You get the flanking from that. So when you're flanking foes, attacking them from their aft, then, you're getting a huge damage bonus with this ship compared to, like, the Legendary Avenger. History will remember worth burning... you could wait for the crappy, wait for the restricted coupon, because we do have news and store ships just a few weeks out. Do I think the devs will ever address the gap between a first-time max character from story to regular content? Probably not. I mean, I think that's stuff that they want to improve, but I don't know how much of a priority that is. Yeah, but I mean, this all stacks together, you know. So, like, if you're someone that is flanking a lot, the more that you're flanking, the more you're going to get out of the Damocles versus the like the Legendary Avenger or the Inquiry. Like, it just is straight up one of the best Federation ships in the game, DPS wise. It's not going to beat the Mirror Angle. It's not going to be the top in the like uncon console spam meta, but for just raw firepower, it's really good. Yeah. Yeah, let's go look at the customization this has. Yeah, so like if you like the Bozeman, this is like the better version. This is, you know, Merrick Worker Intel. So you've got the extra console slot, you've got the Merrick Worker abilities. Like it's the souped up Bozeman. Gotta get my endeavor done. That wasn't enough. $8.99? Terrible. Too many admirals getting nothing done. Terrible. Yeah, but let me go to the tailor for this thing because there's so much customization wise with this ship. So it's on the crossfield skeleton. Um, so you've got all of the normal crossfield options if you own the other crossfields. By default, the Damocles will come with the Damocles options and the crossfield base. But if you have the other ones, that's some other stuff you can do. But for the Damocles, this is what it looks like normally. And then there is an option to put that deflector under the ship. So that's whole Damocles beta. There's also a gamma, so you've got multiple customization options. I'm going to go beta here. And like you've got the saucer here. You know, that's got all the crossfield options, and there is also an option here at the Damocles to fill that in if you don't want the holes in the saucer. Um, yeah, I can. Which fleet? Filtrum, which fleet? Yeah, but there's a lot of customization options with this ship, and the nacelles with the crossfield line, there's just a ton of options. But I mean, it's hard to believe that this is on the same skeleton as the crossfield because it looks like a normal Fed ship now, right? So you've got a lot you can do with this ship, and the randomize, like you've got some very interesting options now. I don't think I've seen this specific combo before. That's certainly it's certainly a combo. Yeah, which fleet do you want projects slotted in here? You got 4 or 5 different fleets you're potentially talking about here, so just let me know. Galactica vibes, kind of. Um, both sides. Let me check Nick's fleet here, or not Nick. The KDF fleet that Nick and McStew have. Um, this one cannot do. Just needs a Hydra saucer. Let's check Fed TBC. Is it worth getting if you have the Legendary Avenger? It's a if you just want more firepower, then the Damocles has that. The Damocles has just ever so slightly more firepower because of the flanking. It does have a console on it that does provide plus 20 max power when it's active. So, you know, that's almost 3 isomags worth of max power that you're getting, but for all subsystems. So let's see here. Yeah, there's projects slotted. So, like, if you were doing a max power build, then the Damocles would also be really interesting there. Let me go up to space. So you can see my power levels at the bottom here, and the Damocles console, escalation override, I think it is. Yeah, escalation override assembly. Passive +5 all subsystem power, 57% power transfer rate. And then the clicky is up for 20 seconds. It gets you +20 current and max subsystem power for all subsystems, plus 100% power transfer rate, and then immunity to subsystem offline effects upon... Yeah, oh no, the entire 20 seconds is immunity to subsystem offline effects. That includes OSS. And then upon expiration, it removes all damage over time effects from yourself for 5 seconds. And while active, once per 2 seconds, up to 15 foes within 5 kilometers will have some power drain. So it's a good power console, and the immunity to subsystem offline does, again, work with OSS. So I'm going to turn OSS on, and when we get down to like 5 seconds left, I'll just hit this console. You can see my power levels, and I'm going to hit the console now. When OSS goes off, no subsystem went offline. And then you see I've got that +20 power going right now, so my weapons are at 152 right now, because I've only got 1 isomag on. If I had more isomags on, you know, that would be a even bigger number. But yeah, it's a good console. It's not top 13, but if you were, you know, looking for another plus max power solution, that's 20 power for all subsystems, plus 20 max. And it actually disables the subsystem offline effects, so it's actually going to stop OSS from shutting things down. So it's legitimately a good console. The issue we have is that we have so many good consoles nowadays that it's hard for new ones to fit in. But that is certainly one that's going to appeal to some of you. Who's yeah, the GOM 2 is good. Yeah. Okay, but I am gonna wrap things up here. I'm gonna stream in the morning, or sometime tomorrow. We'll get it figured out. But yeah, I'll figure out what we do. There was a good point earlier of I haven't done a story stream in a while, so I might do that. Yeah, probably good play. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Sorry if I wasn't too chatty at points. I mean, it's just a, you know, casual, laid back stream. I do want to shout out Sora here is getting really close to 50 followers. So if a couple of you on Twitch could give Sora a follow and help Sora get to 50, that would be very nice. Sora, you're live. Okay, let me get a raid going to you. Yeah, we'll just send folks over to Sora on Twitch, and then for the YouTube folks, I don't have anyone to raid out to. So go follow Sora there. But yeah, that is gonna be it for me tonight. So stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll do some fun stuff. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all around.